Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. The North Dakota Department of Health provided an update regarding COVID-19 priority groups. Even though healthcare providers are still working through Phase 1A, health officials have prioritized who will qualify for Phases 1B and 1C. Phase 1B includes people who are at least 75 years old or those who are 65 to 74 with a high-risk medical condition. The group also includes childcare workers and school staff. Phase 1C includes grocery store workers and other essential workers. You can see the entire list of priority groups right on our website, valleynewslive.com. New at 6, a lot of questions are surfacing tonight surrounding the recent news of the first 2 severe allergic reactions to the COVID vaccine in North Dakota. Many are wondering if the benefits outweigh the risks. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockey is here now to answer some of your questions. Courtney?
Thanks, Stacy. I pulled some of the most common questions that came up on our Facebook page. Here's one from Sue Borgen asking if those with allergies should try the vaccine. Here's another one from Luke Ellingson asking about the long-term side effects. We took your questions to the experts for answers. Several thousand North Dakotans have received the first shot from the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
This is the first time we are hearing about an allergic reaction.
The state health department reporting 2 severe allergic reactions after individuals received Moderna's vaccine. But experts like Dr. Avish Nagpal say no need to panic.
2 out of 13,000 allergic reactions is kind of within the ballpark, which we will expect from like any medication.
He says reactions to any vaccine aren't uncommon, adding there's not one vaccine that's safer than the other.
We do know that there's a severe allergic reaction, which are more called the anaphylactic reactions, where you can get swelling of your tongue and lips, throat, you can have difficulty breathing, and that's considered a medical emergency.
In the case of the 2 North Dakotans, symptoms were caught in 15 minutes. Neither were hospitalized, both have recovered, and there will not be long-term side effects.
Having an allergic reaction previously to something else does not automatically disqualify you from getting the vaccine.
Those receiving a vaccine are watched for 15 minutes, up to an hour for those who have a history of allergic reactions. There's also an app called VSafe. You can text your symptoms to daily after receiving the vaccine. The people we talked to say all reactions are reported to determine potential cause and safety risks.
Absolute contraindication to getting a COVID vaccine is if you've had an anaphylactic reaction to an injectable medication. If you have an allergic reaction or a history of polyethylene glycol, we would recommend that those people don't get vaccinated either.
When in doubt, experts suggest reaching out to your healthcare provider. Experts at both Sanford and Essentia say they are now notifying patients who are eligible to receive the vaccine. It's based on your health background and the category of availability. They say you will either be notified through email or the hospital's health charts. Keep in mind you are not allowed to give your slot to someone else. Stacy?
All right, thanks so much, Courtney. More than 13,000 North Dakotans and more than 44,000 Minnesotans have received the vaccine. We have links to all of this information and much more on our website. Just download the VNL News app and click on this story. Well, we are ringing in the new year with a pleasant forecast. Here's Nathan with your first look.
Yes, pleasant indeed, Stacy. Today's temperatures were seasonable for this time of year, but the southerly winds we see on our Dakota Magic Casino Skycam shows some warmer air moving up from the south, and things look to stay mainly quiet for us as we continue into 2021. Look at this, the 24-hour temperature change. We're 11 degrees warmer at this hour in Fargo than we were yesterday, 13 degrees warmer than we were in Grand Forks. You can, of course, thank those southerly winds for that. And then, of course, with those clouds moving into the valley, and the southerly winds, looks like those clouds keep us insulated and keep our temperatures fairly steady for the rest of this evening. I am still watching this batch of snowfall here in the Devil's Lake Basin as that's moving across the international border in toward northern Minnesota. You can see right now there's a band of heavier snowfall there approaching the I-29 corridor north of Grand Forks. Only expecting a light dusting from this snowfall, which is the good news here. Not expecting too many impacts in the northern valley. But Stacy, of course, the all-important New Year's Eve forecast, and of course looking ahead to the first couple days of the new year. I'll have that full forecast for you coming up.
All right, Nathan, thanks so much. A fired Wisconsin hospital employee is in jail for taking dozens of vials of the COVID-19 vaccine from a pharmacy refrigerator and intentionally destroying more than 500 doses. It's making health experts like Monty Remick, manager of pharmacy at Stanford, keep a close eye on their vaccine shipments so something like that doesn't happen here. He says when the Pfizer vaccine comes out of the container, they have 2 hours to dilute it and 6 hours to give it. He added that they've been working closely with nursing staff to make sure they have enough for that time frame.
So right now, everything that we do have is double locked in the pharmacy. And we also have security keeping a camera on all of our locations as well. So we can have kind of a double check for our own staff too.
Clay County Public Health tells us they have Moderna's version of the coronavirus vaccine and they have it double locked with security cameras. COVID-19 rapid testing events will be held in both Fargo and West Fargo. In West Fargo, testing will be held at the Lights Parking Garage from January 3rd to the 5th. On the 3rd, it'll be from noon to 5. On the 4th, from 8 in the morning till noon. And on January 5th, it'll be from 2 to 6 p.m. In Fargo, it'll be at the Civic Center from January 4th through the 8th at 1 to 5 every day. You're encouraged to pre-register if you plan on attending. You can find more information about these testing events on our website, valleynewslive.com. As of December 19th, there have been 107 influenza cases reported in North Dakota. That number is considerably lower than the more than 1,300 cases reported during the same time period last year. Infectious disease consultants say it's due to the extra COVID-19 precautions in place. They also said a lot of the protocols like mask wearing and social distancing can mitigate the spread of the flu.
There's no telling what happens after these holidays, Christmas and New Year's. People still wind up traveling and visiting with family and whatnot. So if people let their guard down, if they skip on basics like masking and washing hands and social distancing, then we could see an upswing in influenza cases mid-January.
Doctors tell us it's still not too late to get the flu shot. The Cass County Sheriff's Office is warning the public about a risk level 3 offender being released. 54-year-old Edward Carlson will be living in the Cass Lake area, but his address hasn't been provided yet. Police say he's engaged in sexual contact with 2 teenage females multiple times. The Minnesota Supreme Court is upholding the state's revenge porn law, which makes sharing nude images of a person without their consent not constitutionally protected free speech. Outstanding cases that were on hold for about a year can finally be prosecuted. The challenge to the state law followed the 2017 conviction of a man who was found guilty of non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images. Well, later on Valley News Live at 6, we'll take a look at how COVID-19 is affecting New Year's Eve celebrations.
Temperatures right now are in the teens and 20s. As we advance this in Fargo into the rest of our New Year's Eve, you see those temperatures staying fairly steady for us with those south winds and clouds keeping our temperatures insulated. And then in Grand Forks, also expecting the same story where those temperatures stay fairly steady for the rest of this year. But we'll talk about next year coming up here in a couple minutes.